Hey, welcome back to another episode of E.P.I.C, Elite Professionals in Coaching. I'm pleasure to have you here. Thank you for listening. And again, we're going to provide you some nuggets of wisdom today from a heart of gold. That's where we're coming from, a heart to serve you, as well as a mind for business. My name is Chris Aird. I'm the host again today. And I want to come to you because in this week's episode, I want to take time about taking the rest that you need. And I'm going to kind of be all over, but I'm going to be in the same vein. All right. So stick with me on this. I just recently had a couple of client meetings over the past, couple, 3 weeks. And in that, I was asking them, when was the last time you took time off? And they said, well, I clock out at 5, 6:30, 7:30. And I said, no, I'm not talking about that. And they said, oh, yeah. So I was thinking about, I had a day off for the weekend. I had to work Saturday, but ended up spending most of Sunday kind of to myself or with my family. I didn't really work much. And I looked at this, quite a few of these people, employees and business owners, and I said, well, that's not quite what I'm talking about. When was the time that you had unadulterated time to just think about things, to work on you, to take some time away and just to be you with your family, maybe a vacation or something of that nature? And they said, well, we just did a staycation, for probably an extended weekend. So I'm going to stop here for a moment. I'm okay with those. Really, I am. As long as it's an opportunity for you to break away from the norm, the normalcies of life, of business, and you're literally able to get away. Now, rebooting this scenario back up and these true situations, these are just a few of what is happening not only in where you're living right now, but not only in our country, but around the world. People are experiencing what they would label as burnout. And I don't think it's really burnout. I think it's just time management. I think it's prioritization of your time, of your calendar, of kind of moving things around and saying work is no longer a number one priority. It's got to be myself. It's got to be my family. It's got to be my friends, whatever the case might be. So when I think about taking some time, this does fall under the umbrella of leadership. We have to set the stage as leaders. We have to set the example as leaders and not work people to the bone, regardless of whether they're hourly or salary or there's a big, huge project in place. If we're truly thinking about time management, when we think about being proactive versus reactive, we will understand that it's important for us to kind of line some things out, if you will, put them on a schedule in smaller projects that equate to the bigger projects. Now, another reason I'm bringing this up is I know that COVID did a huge, monstrative damage on quite a few people, businesses, families, and all of that. We know that as a fact, right? And I know that a lot of times travel was not available for quite a portion of last year and for the most part into this year. And we're finding that more and more people are traveling, but more and more people are angry. They're disturbed. In a good way, they're disturbed, right? They're frustrated, they're challenged, and they really sometimes don't even know which way is up from down. And so they're looking for answers. They're looking for solutions to the challenges. And I'm a firm believer that if we really think about what it is that we want in life and we truly take breaks throughout the course of a year, throughout the course of a week, we'll be so much more healthier for that. Our productivity will start to increase. And I know this to be true because I've seen it not only in my own life, but in the people I consult with, in the businesses that I consult with. So if you've got a pad of paper, a tablet, whatever the case might be, I want you to think about taking some notes, please. This isn't going to be a lengthy podcast. I really just kind of want to spill my heart to you at this moment because there's so many different ways in which we can rest. Number one, we know that we're supposed to get a good night's rest, right? We also know that some people, I'm not going to say most, but some people aren't getting good rest. Maybe we're challenged or we're plagued by getting stuff done because it's the midnight oil, right? Or we work better at night. Well, we're still working during the day. So when are you going to prioritize your work life, right? And make sure that you're able to get some things done. So we know that we're supposed to get a good amount of sleep rest. Depending on who you listen to, they will tell you anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, right? It's just a range. When I was growing up as a kid, it was always 8 hours. As I became a young adult, it was more 7 or 8 hours. Now we're hearing 6 to 8 hours. So we know this. At the same time, how many of us are really doing it? And we have to put some certain parameters in place so that we really truly get the rest that we're wanting. The other thing when we think about rest in a physical realm is maybe just taking a break, standing up from the computer, standing up from the day-to-day stuff and moving around. Listen to some music, go for a walk or something. We're coming into, wherever you're at in the country, we're coming into a nice outdoor weather type of seasons, right? And so getting out, taking a 15-minute break just to come out and walk around, shuffle your feet and move. We've got to move, right? So in that, we're taking a rest from work. You with me on this? So it's not just the sleep at night, it's the rest during the day. It's the taking certain moments of the day just to kind of get away from it all, right? When we do that, we're breaking ourselves away from being a habitual, right? Someone that's always in habits of constantly working, constantly being on. Can I just tell you that if I took 15 minutes away because I'm in a good spot to take a break, that work will still be there when I get back. And I'm probably more focused to work on it. Maybe I've even thought on my walk about the work that I'm going to come back into. And so now my mind is mentally prepared. I've got some fresh air, whatever the case might be is. And I'm just using this as an example, but we're fresher, we're more productive. That's the catch. We're more productive as business owners. We're more productive as leaders that are setting the example for everybody else. Okay, so that's just one area of taking some time away. The second one is this. Our great country has put in a good amount of federal holidays that we get to take advantage of as well, regardless of what industry we work in. And if you have to work on a particular day that's a federal holiday, there's always compensation, right? So when we think about taking these time off, those should automatically go in your calendar as I'm not working, I'm blocking it out. Maybe for some of us, we have to take it a step further and deeper and say, I'm going to go schedule something for my own personal benefit or my family during that day, and I'm not going to work. I need to make sure that takes place. So see, we're back to time management. We're back to being proactive, and we're thinking about the things that are priorities in our own life. And I get it. Things shift. They do. What might be a priority today is a little bit different tomorrow, but the categories that we place our priorities in should never change. They shouldn't change at all. Maybe those categories have subcategories, and those subcategories move up and down within those main categories. So we just need to be well aware of that. Where I'm really headed to is this: taking an extended time away from work. Just going to let that sink in. Taking an extended time away from work. For the past couple of years, I have been traveling because I'm part of a business owner's mastermind group. Love it. I love traveling. For one portion of the past 2 years, we've been going to one particular place. Right now, it's a smaller group of us, and we're going around to different parts of the country to work on our business. Now, does that mean that I'm constantly on? I'm 24/7? No, it's not. When I have time and I choose to work, I'm going to work. When I'm in the mastermind group, I am working not only on my business, but listening intently, practicing some other skills that I can do for other business owners that are a part of this group. At the same time, I'm experiencing a different culture, a different environment, whether it's at the beach, whether it's in the mountains, whether it's a familiar area or a non-familiar area. There are certain senses that are heightened because what I'm used to becomes normal, right? Taste, smell, sounds, all of that. And so by traveling a little bit, because I'm working on my business, it frees up my mind and I'm always productive. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, even the position that I had before becoming a full-on business consultant, I was working for it was a worldwide nonprofit organization. And I was tasked to help others find their way, right? I was mentoring my peers and I was traveling quite a bit. And so I would probably say at least on average, twice a month. Now you might be able to go, well, you might be thinking, well, how did you get your own stuff done? I prioritize, right? And if I need to do something, then I find somebody that will be able to take care of maybe some of the smaller responsibilities that I'm not able to do because I'm not there personally in the workplace because I'm outside somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with that. That also frees me up in my time and in my mental capacity, my emotional intelligence as well, to understand that it doesn't have to be just me. That if I'm not resting, if I'm not taking the time away to do what's good for me and my family, I'm never going to be as good or productive for my clients. You catching this? So whether it's a business trip away or taking a week or two or more throughout the course of the year, let me encourage you right now to start planning that. Now, we're coming into the season where we have holidays. We've got a lot of holidays coming up over the next 12 weeks, less than that, actually, 11 weeks. And so why not take some time? In fact, I just met with somebody 2 weeks ago. They're shutting their whole office down from the day before Thanksgiving until the end of the year. I applaud them. I really do. Whether I can do that or not is a different story, but they're at a place right now, and they've been doing this for years, where they can give themselves as business owners, as a married couple who are in joint business together, as well as their family, the opportunity to be closed between again, like I said, the day before Thanksgiving and the end of the year. That's great. Other people I'm hearing are really understanding this idea of taking some time. And they're saying, you know what, our offices are going to be closed from Christmas Eve until New Year's, right? And we're giving everybody that time off. Now, what you do with that free time, that is completely on you. But what I'm encouraging you to do is be intentional. Be intentional in taking time for yourself. Be intentional in giving your employees or the people around you the time off as well. It's absolutely essential. It really is, especially with the number that COVID has done and has pushed people into lockdown mode. And while we're out and free, I get that, but people are still working from home. And while your employees may or may not be doing that, they know somebody that is kind of going through some things, and we can also help them help other people. Here's a statement I know you're familiar with, and I just said this less than 5 days ago to somebody. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't. You cannot pour from an empty cup. What does that mean? It means that you yourself, you have to have something in you to give to somebody else. But you also want to make sure that you have enough in there so that you yourself aren't empty. Okay? One of the best ways we can do that is taking time for ourselves, taking time for our family, getting away on a vacation, mini vacation. How about take a full-on 3-day weekend, or maybe 4 days if you can afford to do that, and you go somewhere and you travel a different part of your state or your country, whatever the case might be, but leave work at work. Spend time with the people that matter most to you. Be intentional, be productive. And the only way, one of the only ways that we're going to be able to do that is when we take time for ourselves, where we stop burning the midnight oil, where we recognize that by being proactive, by being productive as well, that we will prioritize our calendar, we will manage our time with all of that, and we will say, these are the hours that I'm working, and I'm going to be able to accomplish or put things into place that will allow me to accomplish those things that I need to do during that set time period. Now, I get it. There's going to be some instances where we need to bring work home, or we need to stay late at the office, or we need to work up until a certain hour that's past our boundary, our parameters. I'm okay with those as long as it does not continue to become a habit. Okay? There's got to be a point in time where we break it. And I would rather you internalize this before an external factor comes in and forces you to do that. All right? It's always better when we can make the change in of ourselves before someone or something comes at us from the outside perspective. So, are you catching my drift? This is we are professionals. We're all being coached, right? We're all learning. We're all admiring in some way, shape, or form. We all want to be somewhere. Maybe most of us haven't achieved it yet. Hopefully, none of us have. That's why we keep moving forward. But the only way to take care of you is by taking time for you. Okay? Cannot pour from an empty cup. I appreciate you. I thank you very much for listening. And I really do hope that if you've got some comments or concerns or questions, just reach out to me. You've got my information right there. It's really, really important to take time for ourselves and for the people that are around us, the people that we love. Find other people that will do some of the things that you can literally take off of your plate and allow them to thrive under that new responsibility as well. Of course, we want to make sure that they can do that. Right. So that's another conversational topic for another time. But all this to say, in leadership, we have got to set the example. Take time for you. Go out and watch a ball game. Leave the office early, whatever the case might be. You know the examples and you know what's best for you. Need some help? Feel free to reach out to me. It's been a pleasure. And again, I appreciate you and I thank you for listening. My name is Chris Aaron. I'm the host of E.P.I.C, Elite Professionals in Coaching. Feel free to reach out to me. I really would like to respond and communicate and connect with you so much. Again, have a great day and, live life with purpose. Be blessed.